Hi, I'm Dr. Bankson and I'm with the Vet on 4th, and we're going to talk a little bit today about fleas and ticks and diseases that they may cause in your pet. My assistant Sierra is going to ask a few questions so you can better understand flea and tick prevention and treatment options.
Dr. Bankson, how does my dog get fleas and ticks?
Fleas and ticks are found in the environment, so they live in the soil, the sand, grass, trees, brush. So primarily outdoor environments are where your pet is going to pick fleas and ticks up from.
Can fleas and ticks spread from my dog to my home and family?
Yes, fleas and ticks both can lay hundreds of eggs at a time, and they can be laid anywhere. So on your couch, in your carpet, on places where your pet sleeps, and they can also, fleas and ticks can jump to a human. Now, they don't typically live on humans as far as the fleas goes. Ticks can bite humans and can transmit diseases that way. So yes, absolutely, fleas and ticks can be brought into the home and onto you or your other pets.
Can my dog get fleas and ticks if they are primarily indoors?
Yes, that is kind of a myth that if your pet is only inside that it can't get fleas and ticks, because most of the time our pets still go outside to go to the bathroom, they go outside to go to the veterinarian. Sometimes we'll take them to Tractor Supply or the pet store. Those are all outside areas that our pets are still exposed to potential fleas and ticks.
What is the difference between over-the-counter prescription flea and tick medications, and how effective are they?
So what is available over the counter doesn't always have the same ingredients or the same percentage of those ingredients as what a prescription flea and tick preventative may have. And cats in particular can be really sensitive to some of those medications, and those can definitely cause some problems if they are administered incorrectly. They are generally pretty effective as far as our prescription products, the over-the-counter products, because they do not have the same strength and sometimes same medications in them. They definitely are less effective than our prescription products.
What different types of flea and tick preventative treatments are there?
So there are primarily 3 classes of preventatives and treatment options that we use. One would be oral, one would be topical that you put on the pet's skin, and the other one would be a collar that you would place around their neck. We primarily are using oral preventatives, which is what you give by mouth. Most of them are going to last anywhere from 30 to 90 days, depending on what product you're giving.
What should I do if I see fleas or ticks on my dog?
If you're seeing fleas and ticks on your pet, then you should probably bring them to the veterinarian so that way they can get on some preventatives so we can head off disease processes, treat any infections that may be present associated with them, and get any ticks removed that may be embedded in your pet's skin.
How can I keep my dog from getting fleas and ticks?
So keeping them on prevention, especially year-round, is important to prevent your pets from getting fleas and ticks. You can also treat your environment, so the yard, areas where they like to stay, especially outdoor areas. Indoor areas, you can use an exterminator. Now, always mention that there's a pet in the home so that way they can use appropriate products.
Are there any vaccines for tick-borne diseases?
There is a vaccine for one tick-borne disease, the Lyme vaccination. We don't see Lyme in our area due to that type of tick not being really prevalent here. It is primarily more in the Northeast region, but there is a vaccine for that disease. The other 2 tick-borne diseases, there are not a vaccine for, and there is no vaccine for flea preventative.
Will fleas and ticks resolve on their own?
Typically, no, and the reason why is because your dog is a host and they're feeding off the blood of the pet. So they don't usually resolve on their own, unfortunately. We usually have to do something, treating the pet primarily, and a lot of times we also have to treat the environment to help get rid of them.
How do vets find fleas on dogs?
So we use our exam to find fleas and or ticks on patients. Sometimes we'll use flea combs to help identify them a little bit easier. Sometimes we're seeing flea dirt, which is actually their defecations. So that is how we usually identify a flea infestation, is we're using our exam as a tool for that.
If one pet in the household has fleas, will the others get them?
Most of the time, yes. If one pet in the home has a flea problem, the others do as well. Now, some pets carry a higher burden than others, and that's kind of an immunology topic, but yes, most of the time if one pet has it, your others do as well. And it is recommended to treat all the pets in the home to help clear up some sort of infestation or infection.
How long will it take to get a flea problem under control?
So generally it's about 3 months of really diligent and consistent work in the environment, as far as vacuuming frequently, making sure your pets are on prevention consistently, as well as treating the yard to help get that problem under control. So it can take a while and it can be really frustrating.
Can my dog still get fleas and ticks in the winter?
Yes, it is really important to keep your pet on flea and tick prevention year round. It does not get cold enough in our area for long enough to kill all of those little critters, and so we definitely recommend keeping your pet on flea and tick prevention all year.
What factors can increase my dog's risk of getting fleas and ticks?
So a couple of things you could do would be to make sure that your grass is cut regularly, that any underbrush close to where your pets may be going is cleared, and you can even treat your yard to help prevent your pet from getting fleas and ticks.
Last question. Is there a test to diagnose tick-borne diseases?
Yes, it is a blood test that we do. We have an in-house version of that, and it tests for 3 tick-borne diseases as well as heartworm disease. There's not a test for any sort of flea-type diseases. It usually creates a lot of skin problems. But yes, that is an in-house test that we could do. It takes a little bit of time. We get the results immediately, and we can determine any treatment your pet may need from there. If you have any questions about anything you have heard today, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We want you and your pet to be able to have more good years together.